High atop the misty cliffs of Windwhistle Ridge lived Ethan the hawk, a young bird with a nose for shiny things and a habit of losing track of them just as quickly. He kept his treasures in a hollow tree, but one item mattered most: the sky feather, a glistening plume said to bring luck to any creature who found it. One sunny morning, as golden beams stretched across the horizon, Ethan zipped through the air to admire his sky feather. But when he peered into the tree, his heart sank. It was gone. Panic fluttered in his chest. Without it, he felt like just another bird, determined not to cry. Hawks don't cry, do they? Ethan flapped into the wind, retracing his routes through the skies, past rustling pines and sleepy mountain goats. Surely someone had seen something. Or perhaps the feather had simply floated away. First, he soared over Pebble Creek, where fish sparkled like coins in the sunlight. "Seen a shiny feather?" he called to the trout. They only bubbled and splashed, too busy chasing dragonflies to notice a hawk in distress. Next, Ethan glided through the wiggly woods, dodging branches and chirping to every squirrel and snail. Most scurried off, and one beetle told him, "Try the forgetful fields. Things show up where no one remembers leaving them." He flapped over to the forgetful fields, a quiet, golden stretch of grass where time seemed to nap. Ethan circled low, eyes scanning every patch of thistle and clover. No feather, but he did find an old key, a marble, and someone's sock. Resting on a crooked fence post, Ethan sighed. He missed the way the sky feather glowed in moonlight. A hummingbird zipped by. Maybe it wasn't stolen, she chirped. Maybe it wanted to be found again. That thought tickled Ethan's feathers. Determined, Ethan flew toward Maple Hollow, a windy patch of forest where things whispered and whistled. The breeze tousled his feathers, and suddenly, there, something shimmered on a high branch. With a whoosh and a twist, Ethan landed beside the shimmer. It was a candy wrapper. His wings drooped. Still, the search couldn't stop now. He wouldn't give up, not until the sky feather was safely back in his hollow. He soared to Cloudcap Peak, highest of the highlands. The wind here was fierce, and the clouds close enough to peck. He spotted an eagle and asked, "Seen a feather? Very shiny? Very lucky?" The eagle shrugged and soared away. Discouraged, Ethan tucked his wings and glided low into the valley, where fog crept like curious cats. The world felt quiet, lonely. He wondered if the feather had ever mattered, or if it was just something pretty to hold on to. As he landed in a field of dandelions, Ethan noticed something odd. A ring of feathers? His own? No, one was different. Brighter, glimmering. He stepped closer. There it was, his sky feather, caught gently in the weeds. He scooped it up with care, heart pounding like a hummingbird's wings. "You were here all along," he whispered. The feather shimmered, as if it had been waiting, patient and proud, for Ethan to find it on his own. Ethan danced in the sky, looping and diving with joy. But he didn't fly straight home. Instead, he perched on a cliff's edge and looked out over the land, seeing it anew. Not just a place to store shiny things, but a world full of wonder. As he flew back, he realized something surprising. He didn't need the sky feather to feel lucky anymore. The adventure, the search, the strange places and creatures, that's what had made him rich in heart. Still, when he tucked the sky feather back into his tree, he did so with a smile. He placed it carefully beside the marble and the key, each item now a memory, not just a possession. The next morning, Ethan didn't fly straight to the tree. He flew to Pebble Creek, tossing pebbles at the fish to make them laugh. He visited the beetle in the wiggly woods, who offered him a pebble in return. He stopped by the forgetful fields and planted the sock he'd found like a flag. "Treasure," he declared. A mole popped up and asked if it was a crown. Ethan nodded. "It can be, if you squint." With each place he visited, Ethan left something behind. A marble here, a joke there, a funny song in the wind. The sky feather had taught him that the best treasures were the ones you shared. Soon, other animals began calling him the treasure hawk. Not for what he kept, but for what he gave away. Laughter, adventure, and strange, shiny things with stories to match. Back at his tree, Ethan opened a new nook for feathers he found on future journeys. Not magic ones, just ordinary ones from birds he met. Every feather told a tale, and Ethan was now their keeper. He began writing stories in the dirt with twigs, telling tales to the owls at dusk and the rabbits at dawn. This one, he'd begin, is about a feather that got lost, and a hawk who found more than he bargained for. Each night, as the stars blinked above, Ethan would perch on a branch and stare at the moon. The sky feather glowed softly behind him, but he no longer needed to see it to feel its magic. And so Ethan the hawk, once frantic and feather-brained, became a legend of Windwhistle Ridge, not for the treasure he found, but for the journey he dared to take, all on his own, with wings full of courage and a heart ready to give.